What is up, Valorant fans? Welcome back to the Valorant Report. My IHOLDSHIFT. Good to have you guys back, and we're recapping the grand finals. Man, it feels good. All my predictions were spot on today. But let's give you guys the recap and a couple of highlight plays behind all of things, as this one I personally had going 3-1 to Sentinels. And well, we'd quickly learn if that was going to be correct or not. We'd start things off on Ascent, and what an absolutely super scary start for Cloud9, as Sentinels would go up 7-1 in the first 8 rounds. But you want to talk about resiliency, look no further than the Cloud9 roster, as they would take the final 4 rounds in the first half, keeping things marginal and relatively respectable. The second half was then much more back and forth, but Sentinels would find a way to close things out on Ascent right before we would get to the overtime, a 13-11. TenZ was great, absolutely. Mitch as well, sure, why not? But when nearly every member on your team breaks 20 kills and everyone finishes with a positive KD, you really can't expect another result rather than that team winning the game in total. Beyond that, how many times did we see Sentinels clutch up odd man situation rounds to give themselves that little bit of that back and forth that we were able to see? The answer would be too many. Dapper doing a lot of that magic. He's been super clutch on this map overall as a Cypher player in retake situations, mind you. Just things that you don't normally see, and that's obviously leads to something pretty special. He's just different. Haven, though, would be map number 2. Remember how I said that Cloud9 would take this map? This would be the one that they would take? Yeah, they did. 8 attacking rounds for Cloud9, and then Sentinels were not allowed to get things going on their attacking half. 13-6, Cloud9. TenZ would another 20+ kills. No one was surprised there. And the only real round wins that were in spectacular fashion for Sentinels were ones that came off of Sick and Shazam clutching up. I mean, Cloud9 was all over this map. The 13-6 really probably should have been more like a 13-3, but there were a couple of clutch odd man situations that we've talked about a number of times now when it comes to Sentinels. But I'll say this much, for as control heavy of a comp that they like to play, without being able to get some big pop-off duelist moments, they're going to struggle on maps like Haven, I feel like. We'll see how they adjust as things go. That's definitely a map they need to look at. It's by far their worst. Bind would be map number 3, and the key to victory here was shut down TenZ on Raze. And that mission would be mostly accomplished outside of really the first few rounds in the first half, as Sentinels would walk away with a 6-6 attacking side. From there, we'd stay back and forth, until Sentinels were able to put off the potential overtime, clutching up 3 rounds in a row. They'd win the map, 13-11. I mean, it's just one of those things that Sentinels, they've got a game plan in mind as far as what do we need to do to make sure that our comp is going to find more success in the duelist heavy comp that Cloud9 likes to run. And you saw that come through, especially on a lot of those retake situations in that second half. It was really, again, just good controlled team play. It's just really good stuff. Sentinels looking like they have a little bit of a beat on everybody right now. The only thing they're really missing that we're continuing to see is they don't really have a true counter to TenZ. Split would be map number 4. And TenZ, interestingly enough, would actually try out the Viper recently buffed on this map. And there were some great moments showcasing that Viper's potential was high. But at the same point, it wasn't showing enough, as Sentinels would shut down everything Cloud9 had to throw at them, getting 8 rounds in a row on defense. Things would be extremely scary for a minute in the second half as Cloud9 started to bounce back, but Sentinels would clutch things up, taking 4 rounds in a row and securing themselves the championship. Look, I'm not saying I'm some sort of a Valorant messiah, but damn, were the predictions A+ this weekend, huh? 2-0 in the Sentinels versus TSM, locked it in. 2-0 on Cloud9 versus Homeless, locked it in. 3-1 in the finals with Cloud9 taking Haven, locked it in. I'm playing around, but it's one of those things that I hope that, with these predictions kind of coming true, that again, you guys, I've earned a little bit of your trust as far as I know what I'm talking about, and I put a lot of time into looking at the statistics and things before I make these predictions. So hopefully you guys were at least somewhat appreciative of some of those calls that I've been kind of putting together. So now that that's all done with the PAX Arena Invitational, what's next? We've got the Mandatory Cup coming up in Europe this week, a very big matchup, I would say. G2 and all the big boys are going to be there. It's going to be a really fun one to watch if you're interested in European Valorant. But beyond that, and until we get there, how about North American focused power rankings? That sounds like something we could probably do right now, and I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to get this going. A lot of graphics that I have to make at the back end to make it look good, but I hope to have it up by Monday night, if not Tuesday afternoon. afternoon. That'll be the next video that I have for you guys, though, is that power rankings video specifically just for North America, where I'll give you my take on all the teams, some of the statistics that they've been able to put up so far since the T1 Ignition series kicked things off. And I'll also try to keep in touch with all the other roster news that's going on as we're either in the Mandatory Cup or just before the Mandatory Cup for Europe. So beyond that, just want to say thank you guys all so much. I mean, the traction on the channel has actually been net positives all the way through since we started to do these. So hopefully you guys keep coming back for more competitive Valorant recaps and esports analysis. And until the next video, hey, hope you guys out there keep pulling it down. Later. Bye-bye.